In this practice, we'll work on toning the lower abdominal area, and we'll start on our belly. With your forearms pressing and your fingers spread, pull from your fingertips back toward your elbows. As you press the forearm down, elbows are moving back toward your feet, and you'll feel the heart moving forward. With strength in the arms, draw the heads of the arm bones back, the shoulder blades together, lift from the navel back to the spine, release the belly down, lift the belly again, draw it down. Just get a nice movement from the navel back toward the spine. Just a little bit of movement to strengthen the abdominal area. It's as if you're doing cat-cow on your forearms. Tuck your toes under. With your toes tucked under, see about lifting now the pubic bone off the mat, and do that same movement. Belly forward, belly back. Very subtle, but not so simple. You've got quite a bit of engagement to do this. Now come back to your belly. Place your hands right alongside your ribs. Come through all fours position. In all fours position, tuck your toes under to come to downward facing dog. Just in case you overstretch something, allow the fullness of your breath to create this fullness in the back of the body. Walk your hands back to your feet. Place your hands to your low back. Rise up. Reach your arms up. Release your hands to the mat. Walk your hands forward. Come to downward facing dog. Then plank position. Draw your knees down. Slowly lower yourself to the mat. Again, come to that Sphinx position with your fingers spread. Draw your heart forward. Pull from the fingertips back to the elbows as you reach your heart forward. Now pull in from the navel to the spine and release. Again, pull in and expand out. Again, draw from the navel back and expand forward. Now do the same thing with the forearms pressing, the elbows hugging in. Lift the pubic bone and try to draw the belly forward. Pull it back, draw it forward, pull back, belly forward, pull back, belly forward, pull back. Release your belly back to the mat. Place your hands right alongside your ribs. Inhale, heart forward in a baby cobra pose. Exhale, downward facing dog. Release your head. Just get this nice fullness in the back body again. And walk your hands back to your feet. Place your hands to your low back. Rise up. Reach up. Reach slightly back. Exhale with your knees bent. Take your hands to the mat. Walk your hands forward. Come to downward facing dog. Then plank. Draw your knees down to the mat. Pull your hands in toward each other to lower yourself down. Come to Sphinx position again. Spread your fingers. Pull back from the fingers to the elbows, from the elbows back to the feet. Reach your heart forward. Now draw from the navel back to the spine and draw the belly forward again. These simple movements of the belly just help to create certainly more awareness and a lot more tone as you move the belly forward and back. Now pressing the forearms down, pull the elbows in, lift your pubic bone off the mat, draw your belly forward, pull it back and forward and back and forward and back. Lift yourself up to come to downward facing dog. Walk your hands back to your feet. Place your hands to your low back. Rise up. Reach up again. Reach back. Exhale. Take your hands to the mat. Walk forward to come to downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, come to a plank position. Lower yourself to the mat. Come to Sphinx position again. Pull the elbows back. Draw your navel away from the mat, to the mat, away from the mat, to the mat, away from the mat, to the mat. With your toes tucked under, lift your pubic bone up, but do that same action. Belly forward, back, belly forward, back. So subtle, but not so simple. Come back to downward facing dog. Walk your hands back to your feet. Place your hands to your low back. Rise up, reach up and slightly back. Exhale, bend your knees to find your hands at the mat. Walk the hands forward. Come from downward facing dog to a plank position. Lower yourself to the mat. Come to Sphinx forearms again. With your fingers spread, draw the belly toward the mat, away from the mat, to the mat, and away. Just moving, really easeful movements here. With your toes tucked under, lift your pubic bone off the mat, belly forward and back, forward, back, forward, and back. Come to, now see if you can lift your knees up and do these subtle movements, belly forward and back, forward and back, before coming to downward facing dog. In downward facing dog, get fullness to the back body. Walk your hands back to your feet. With your knees bent, place your hands to the low back. Rise up. Now come to lie on your back. With your knees bent, with your elbows pressing down, with a little space between your low back and the mat, press your elbows down to get nice fullness in the area of the upper chest. Lift your right leg up and tap the right foot down. Lift the right foot up and tap it down. Very simple movement here. Do that with the left leg. Lift the left shin parallel to the mat and tap it down. Just a few times so that you can kind of discover which leg, which side of your body has a little bit more engagement or freedom. Now let's try that with both legs. So lift both legs up, tap down with one, and then the opposite. And just keep on tapping down. Slowly, the slower you go, the more engagement you have. See that you still are preserving the curve in the back as you tap down. And release, and just pause here. With the feet planted, Pull in from the heels to the heart. Lift your pelvis high. Keep that nice fullness to the front side of the body so that you get length after these abdominal strengtheners that we did provide a little contraction in the front side of the body. Now let's get the expansion, the fullness of the front body. And release your pelvis down. Release your arms, release your legs, close your eyes. Allow your breath to expand the inner body, to provide its natural massaging power. Give yourself this time to assimilate the actions that you did. Thank you for joining the practice. Namaste.